for chatting to us today. You're the owner of the Red House Cafe here in North Adelaide. It used to be a train station. It's a heritage building. What made you want to do it?
Well, I've been driving past the North Adelaide railway station, this beautiful old building, my whole life. Every day on the way to school, every day on the way home. And I've always looked at it and thought, oh, such a beautiful building going to waste. It's been empty for, I think before I took the lease, it was empty for about 20 years, used a little bit quietly, privately, and before that, another good 20 before it was in use as a train station. So, I mean, it just seemed like something that was going to waste.
A bit of a dream.
A bit of a dream.
You had a passion for heritage and history in Adelaide?
I've really always been drawn to old things. I really appreciate beautiful architecture and design and small details. The workmanship that used to go into things comparatively to now, I love that stuff. You know, my favourite feature of the whole building is the ticket room, because where do you see anything like that? A round wooden room.
You don't, it's amazing.
Exactly.
And you were able to turn it into your kitchen.
Yeah, our little kitchenette, exactly.
What were the major things that you had to change in the building? So you had to do the floors?
That was one of the longer struggles. It took a long time between me, the council and Heritage to decide how we would deal with the floors. Being that they leased it as a cafe, of health and safety, the floors have to be sealed in some way, but as their heritage they didn't want any sort of permanent sealing, which I completely understand. So finding the happy medium, it took me a lot of research and suggestions. It kind of was left all up to me to suggest things and see if they got knocked back.
Right.
Eventually, we all decided that tongue oil would be an okay thing to do. It's great for the floorboards. It's really helped condition them. So I hope that
They look wonderful.
Yeah, they do. It really shows up their character as well. It
does.
Yeah.
So structurally inside the building, you didn't have a great deal to do.
No.
It was mainly aesthetic, mainly cosmetic.
Absolutely. Also, we had to work with Heritage and the council in order to get our air conditioning installed, which was the major thing we had to do, which I think they've done a beautiful job at, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's so subtle in the building.
So they were concerned about you putting holes in the building,
which I
drilling.
understand.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, being leased as a cafe of health and safety, they're things that we needed to be able to do. So
what strikes us as interesting is that when someone like you is enthusiastic and wants to develop a place and refresh it and give it a new life, they'll give often people a really hard time about the changes they can make to the building. However, they're happy for the building to sit wasting away for 20 years. It's quite ludicrous to think that, isn't it?
Very frustrating.
Yeah.
I know I actually heard whispers when I originally got the lease, was offered the lease, that some of the people I was up against, the reason that they weren't granted the lease was because of the dramatic changes that they were going to try and put through on the building, whereas the council really appreciated that I wanted to work with the building and really showcase everything that it's got, because it's an incredible building.
Yeah. And you'll leave it if ever. We hope that you're here forever, but should you ever leave, you're leaving the building in much better condition than it ever has been in the last 20 plus years of its life.
We're forever touching up things and we report things as soon as we're noticing any sort of flaw within the building. We report it so that they can get on top of it straight away, whereas before it was just left. So.
The next train to depart from platform 2 is the 3:24 train to Adelaide only. The next train to depart from platform 1 is the 3:27 train to Gawler. First stop Oakenham, then W Park, Islington, Mawson Lakes, Broomfield, Parachute Gardens, Highfield, Salisbury,